So from what I've seen, the issue with women on social media is not the platforms themselves, it is the feedback loop. So psychology is pretty clear on this. What you consume repeatedly shapes your self-concept, your standards, and your behavior. The brain normalizes whatever it's exposed to the most. So when you look at what a lot of men consume online, it's improvement focused. Money, fitness, status, competence. Even when the advice is like flawed, the underlying message is still the same, which is you're responsible, change something. For a lot of women, the dominant content is pure validation. You're perfect as you are. You don't need to change for anyone. If things aren't working, it's because the world is wrong and not you. Okay? So this feels good in the moment, but it creates stagnation. Okay, there's this concept called self-verification, which is people seek information that confirms how they already see themselves, even if that self-image is not helping them. Okay, so content that reassures you that nothing needs to change feels safe, and content that challenges you feels threatening. Okay, and this is why growth-oriented messages get rejected so aggressively, right? So women who talk about discipline, standards, self-improvement, they get labeled as harsh or judgmental. Not because they're attacking women, but because they disrupt the comfort loop. So they introduce cognitive dissonance, okay? And this is the tension between I'm perfect as I am and maybe my outcomes reflect my habits, right? So most people don't like that tension. So they'll attack the messenger instead of examining the message, okay? But the issue is that validation without challenge does not lead to better outcomes, okay? It leads to entitlement without leverage. So you don't get different results by consuming content that tells you you're already done, okay? You get different results by consuming content that asks you to become more, okay? This applies to men, it applies to women, it applies to everyone, right? Because growth requires friction, and if you remove all friction from what you consume, don't be surprised when nothing changes, okay?
This is my message to all men. Only honorable men feel shame. The shame is the sign that you're honorable. It's the indicator that you're honorable. Dishonorable people, men and women, feel no shame. No matter what harm they've done to anyone, they feel no shame. Shame is a sign of honor, an indicator of honor, a function of honor.
Sometimes I be wanting to date, but then I remember the games that I'm not willing to play with nobody's son. Like the micro cheating, entertaining old situations, still keeping access to people who should have been blocked and deleted. See, when I date one person. I don't do that talking to 5 people at once. If I say I'm locked in, I'm locked in. I'll even tell people who are interested in me, like, listen, respect my situation. I'm getting to know somebody right now. But unfortunately, everybody does not move like that. Everybody don't value exclusivity. Everybody don't know how to cut off distractions. And I just cannot relate to that. Everybody don't understand what it means to actually choose somebody. When you're dating, you're supposed to choose somebody. So half the time, it's not that I don't want to date. It's just that I'm not willing to shrink my standards to fit somebody else's lack of discipline. That's just not going to work, because the moment that I commit, I give you my full attention. But the moment I feel like I'm competing with your history, your exes, or your little friends, I'm out immediately. I'm grown. I want real connection. I don't want a roster. I don't want a rebound, and not a keep your options open type of situation. So yeah, I be wanting to date, but I refuse to date somebody who still want access to everything that they claim they are done with.
And the topic of today's short talk is women are dirty. Now, I don't mean that they're physically dirty. I mean that women's minds are full of dirty, dark, and twisted desires. To be fair, men's minds are the same way, but men already have a reputation for this. Girls, on the other hand, are presumed to be made of sugar and spice and everything nice. And I'm here to tell you that is far from the truth. Every woman is two women. Every woman carries at least two personalities inside of her. One is the public-facing persona that she uses when she goes to work and rides the bus and engages with her friends and family. And the other is the bedroom persona that comes to life behind closed doors. And it's very difficult to make accurate predictions about the bedroom persona simply by viewing the public-facing persona. That said, we can make some reasonable generalizations derived from psychological truths and observed behavior at like the population level. When we look at these sources, we see that women's desires are much more socially unacceptable than they are typically considered to be, and that these socially unacceptable desires tend to cluster around fairly predictable themes.
So, bitch, stop acting like you want to be alone. You don't have a choice. And I hate when it says, oh, I'm single by choice. No, you're not. You're single by choices. You're single by the choices that you make. You chose to have multiple kids with multiple niggas. That's why you're single. You chose to hang out with single, bitter. That's why you're single. You chose to stay in a relationship with now you are traumatized for life because of that. That's why you're single. All of these are choices. Okay. You're not choosing to be single. And for you that want to convince me and anybody else that you can have any man you want, where is he? Go get him. Exactly. You over here choosing to work on your career and focus on your career rather than focusing on building a healthy relationship with somebody. That's why you're single. By choices, not by choice. So stop acting like you want to be alone. You don't have a choice.
And I like that he's talking about the difference between male-focused and female-focused. Right now, obviously, you have some male-focused content out there that's it's very harmful. It's reckless. It you don't really need it. It's pure entertainment, if that's the way that you want to look at it. It's foolishness, stupidity, right? But a lot of content in this space, especially looking at Kevin Samuels, it was to improve where you are. He didn't like his tone a lot. A lot of people didn't, right? But I'm trying to help you out. And so when men talk about, well, you need to get money, you need to go to the gym, you need to eat better. Yeah, you can get a woman with that, but that's also for you. You need to dress better, work on your hygiene, right? That's for you. She will come because you are a better man. But when he talks about now, for a lot of these women out there, they're listening to foolishness. They're listening to stuff that says you're just fine the way you are. You're okay. Continue on in the nonsense that you're in right now. Continue parroting the same line that you have in education. A man is not on your level. A man is intimidated. And pretty soon, it will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Men will be scared to come around you because they know that you come with drama. And it'll be your own fault. The man's going to go ahead and find a woman that he likes and that likes him. And he's going to get into a relationship, whether he wants to be married or not. That's his decision. And they'll live out their lives happily ever after. While you still sitting here talking about how men are trash, they're terrible, until you get to 52. And like some of our other sisters out here talk about, there was a man way back when I knew I probably should have been with. I knew I probably missed my opportunity.
I'm laughing because I'm so pissed off. If I hear another get on this internet talking about there is a male loneliness epidemic, shut up! Y'all literally say anything, I mean anything, to sound more stupid than you already are. It never fails. I just want to know, why the fuck do y'all be making up? It's really annoying. It's annoying as fuck to the point where I can't stop laughing. I've never heard a man say, oh, I'm so lonely. I can't get these girls to act right. I need a woman to pay for this and that. That is you saying that. No man said that. What? This said, they're not lonely enough. What? Cut it out. I can't take this shit. You know, my first time hearing them say that there was a male loneliness epidemic, I almost crashed. Because y'all don't know what the y'all be talking about. I'm about to show you the definition of epidemic. Epidemic is a widespread occurrence of an infectious disease. Infectious disease in a community at a particular time. Bitch, never knew loneliness was infectious or contagious. What the? A widespread? A widespread contagion, bitch. And you saying it's the male loneliness? Oh, out of here. You know what is an epidemic? You know what is an epidemic? How many are chemically imbalanced? I'm so mad about being chemically imbalanced and unstable and mentally incompetent that you made up a male loneliness epidemic? I can't stop laughing. Bitches are really remedial, bro. Remedial. For you that don't know what remedial means, this is someone who needs to receive special instruction to correct learning deficiencies in basic skills or habits. You don't have basic skills or habits. You have no cognitive dissonance. What is wrong with y'all? This is why they need to start teaching real life in school. Because I'm tired of this shit. Y'all some overgrown ass adults that ain't learned in life. Y'all out here creating terms and phrases because of your misery. Get the out of here.
When did it become such a problem for women wanting a man who's a provider? Like, since when is that such an issue? Because back in the day, I'm not trying to get spiritual, but if you look in the Bible, men are supposed to be providers and women are supposed to be nurturers. So when did the issue about a man providing become such a thing? Like, why is that a thing? Like, why are you guys looking at women?
We ain't providing for everybody now.
I get that too.
You gotta have some standards.
I agree. But why is it a problem, or why is it such a big topic that a woman wants a man who makes a little money?
Nah, the problem is because it turns into a scenario where women are going to whoever the highest bidder is. So you can have that love you that make 80,000, but this that don't give about you to make 150,000 get your attention. You feel me? So it's like, what's the point of being a good win?
The rich nigga gonna win.
Yeah, the rich nigga gonna win.
Now, I know y'all say that we shouldn't blame the parent that stayed. And I understand that most single mamas are doing the best they can. But I want us to really think about something. If you are a single mama and you are already struggling financially and you are already in an unstable environment and you do not have help for the one or two that you already have, why would you go and have baby number 3, 4, and 5? Some people make mistakes. You do not make the same mistake 5 times. That is no longer a mistake. That is a choice. And what I want us to really start thinking about and saying out loud is that some people need to be on birth control. Some people need to be heading over to the CVS for a plan B. Some people need to be allowed to shimmy on down to the clinic and handle business, because there is no way you thought that having more children was the best that you could do. Right? Right.
What do you love most about men?
About men?
Men.
Like, I think all these influencers are lying about being rich. I'm almost at 1 million followers. Broke as fuck. Well, not broke, but like I go to my regular minimum wage job every single day, 5 days a week. Clock in. That's how I pay all of my bills. Is that my thing? I did my taxes and I only got 3 brand deals this year, each for $2,000, which works out to like $500 extra a month. Amazing, gorgeous. I can never be happier. But I'm just saying $500 a month is not livable. You know, like, but I am super grateful for it. But I'm saying that's all that I got. Like, you could see, you know? And I think just these influencers are lying to you. I think because they're either trying to sell you a course or tell you how great their life is after, you know, you've insulted them. But there's nothing up here. I'm up here now with everybody else. And I'm telling you that there is nothing up here. And
Never be intimidated by an influencer or IG baddie, because majority of them are actually poor. They're not selling any type of product. And a lot of these girls you see on luxurious vacations all over the world, they're escorts, they're sex workers. They're not going on their own dime. So a lot of the culture that is even being spread about, okay, you know, we want a man that's going to do this for this, do that for me. He's going to take me here. He's going to take me there. You're essentially being paid to be. That is what the framework is being put out here into reality. So never let these girls online try to act so big, talk to you crazy, no 50-50, you need 6 figures. They're working regular 9 to 5s, just getting by. I'm telling you, like, they don't really have it going for themselves. Like, if you really just take the time and sit back, these women don't really have anything going for themselves. All they have is the multitude of likes and comments that they get on a daily basis. That's it. All you got is a social capital. That social capital is not actual capital. You need to really start vetting these women based on the monetary value that they bring, not just their looks. They're not even utilizing their platforms. Most of them couldn't even do OnlyFans well, even if they tried. Like, that really is how, like, deep it gets into this entire internet world. So what you see online majority of the times is fake. These women aren't who they appear to be, who they try to sell themselves to be. So never let yourself feel any kind of way about these girls online. They don't have it like that. You as a man that's accomplished what you've done, you are in a very, very small minority. Remember that. These women likely don't even compare. Remember that too. It's Trust Fund Baddies only. You need help vetting women, fixing your dating psychology so that you don't attract any of these poor women. The link for Trust Fund Baddies Academy is in the bio or comment TFBA.
And I know when you probably watch this clip, it would seem like she's upset. But this is how a lot of men feel inside. Just annoyed by the foolishness. Well, you're lonely. No, I think I'm okay. Oh, well, it's a male loneliness epidemic. Who said that? You said that. You as the woman thinking that a man is lonely without you said that. I'm okay. I'm doing all right. Would I like to be in a relationship? Yeah. But as most men say, I don't want to pick up a bill. It's not worth it. Especially in this day and age when it's all about you. I think I'll be okay. So, and you'll notice that it's just a trend. Once women decide that there's another trend that they want to jump on, then they'll do just that. When this one isn't cool enough or doesn't sound cool enough, they'll jump on the next trend. A lot of times these modern women have 4 or 5 different trends going on at the same time, and all of them have to do with foolishness. All of them have to do with lifting themselves up, bragging on themselves, patting themselves on the back. If it's just almost as if they didn't get enough validation from their friends and their family. They don't get enough validation in real life from work, from the fulfilling career that they tell us that they have, and all of the other stuff. They gotta come online and get all of that from, their friends and, well, not really their friends, strangers online. And then if that isn't enough, I still have to post thirst traps to get that validation from the men that you say are bums. So there's that.
Good morning. I'm in the mood to piss off because y'all pissed me off. So let's get into it. Why the f am I still seeing dry begging? It's 2026. And if you don't know what dry begging is when you get on the internet and post something stupid like this. Oh, I haven't been to Del Frisco's in a minute. I want steak. So if you ain't taking me out to get steak, my DMs is broke. We know. You and your DMs is broke. You think we ain't know that? But what makes this joke even funnier, I'll post that. But mind you, there's a video somewhere out there of her getting penetrated from the back by Raekwon and them, and they're not even looking down at you with your weave pulled up to the front so he can see the bumblebees in the back of your head. He's actually facing the camera, throwing up gang signs so he could tell his friends how easy it was to get you into bed. I'm just the messenger, so don't get mad at me. But my thing is, we all sitting here confused, like, got you in the bed so easy, so who the f is you to think that you could get on the internet trying to pressure to take you out to eat when your first date with this was in balls? Just stop the dry begging. That shit annoys the f out of me. Because we don't ever have to ask for when with us for real, it's gonna be done. All of that getting on the internet trying to pressure and trying to make dudes for y'all, the only who do that is who's never had that done. Have a blessed day.
So I've decided that I no longer will be dating in 2026.
I've officially decided that this new year, I am not gonna date at all whatsoever.
I'm so tired of being disappointed by men. I'm so tired.
I I've decided that it would be beneficial for me if I stopped being into men.
It ain't nobody else's fault but yours.
Finally you get it. Finally you get it.
Do you have visitation of your children pursuant to a family court order? Every other weekend, right? Or something similar to that? Cool. Man, that's some bullshit. Bro, you've been found guilty in family court of abandoning your children. They ain't gonna tell you that. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it 1,000. You've been found guilty of abandoning your children in family court if you have visitation, because visitation comes from the abandonment clause from the 1935 Social Security Act. Because in 1935, women could barely support themselves. If a man left for his woman or went to war or even passed away, that man would be considered to have abandoned his children because they is or will become dependent upon government assistance pursuant to the 1935 Social Security Act. We're still operating under that same abandonment clause. That's why you this non-custodial parent, and now you have this obligation to repay the debt that is or will become. They trying to predict the future.
I know this is satire, or at least I think this is satire, but that's only because it says #satire on the caption. But I've actually seen real life videos of women complaining about, oh, their husband worked a 12-hour shift and yeah, he didn't help me clean up the house even though I've been home all day doing jack. And I've seen it. I've seen it so many times of women and moaning, being at home, hardly doing anything, especially ones that have kids that are going to school. Kids in school for 8 hours a day, nearly all day, and they still don't do it in the house. Like, mind you, I dealt with that being a stay-at-home mom with a child who was once a baby and with a child that was in school. Both of them. Picking one up, dropping them off, dealing with baby appointments, dealing with all that kind of stuff. Like, it wasn't easy, but it's just something that I chose to do and something I had to deal with. This is like, it's almost like the consequences of my actions. You know, I decided to have a baby, and this is what's going to happen when you have a baby. But I think that's something that a lot of women need to realize, that if you are at home all day, at least do a chore here and there. Most men, I'm going to be honest with you, because most men do not care about the house being squeaky clean. It would just be nice if it looks a little organized, and it would help if you at least cooked a meal here and there. And if you're not going to do any of that, at least give him the chon-chon. You know what I mean? Give him the chon-chon. But I really hope that women will eventually realize just how much harder it is to deal with being told what to do, having to just earn a paycheck from somebody that doesn't even give two shits about you, and having to just climb that corporate ladder and joining in on the rat race. And, you know, it's not so fun. Instead, you know, it'd be nice if you could just, you know, be at home and relax and cook and clean whenever you actually want to, you know, throughout the day, because it doesn't take that long. And then you have, you know, someone who's going to give you an allowance here and there to do whatever the hell you want, shopping and, you know, getting stuff, stocking up on the groceries. And then along with that, you know, he cares about you. He cares about you enough to put you on that insurance and to put you on life insurance policies. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
And I like the fact that she's talking about begging. It's because if she's tired of it, you know, the men that actually have to spend the money, you know, they're tired of it. For the men that have to sit around this, they're tired of it. That have to listen to it and hear about it on dates, on the car ride to the date, on the car ride home from the date, walking you to your house. We got to hear about it. When I'm walking you to the Uber, I got to hear about it. When I'm about to buy you a drink in the club, I got to hear about it. When I'm sending you flowers, oh, it's so refreshing to get flowers, because all of these men, I ask for $50 and they don't have it. And then, if that's not enough, they'll get online and they'll talk about, they'll beg, and then they'll get online and talk about, oh, ladies, My man just sent me some roses. That's the bare minimum. You need to start asking these men for money. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And then you're going to have women going out there asking men for money and getting made fun of online when the men finally decide to share the receipts. It's all messed up. It's all jacked up. It's all foolishness. It's going to go around in a circle. Women are going to get desperate for a man's attention. They're going to start begging for the money. They're going to get a man's attention. The man is going to say, okay, well, you know, here's some flowers. Hey, let me take you out on a date because you seem sincere. Take you out on a date. And then here you go with foolishness. Oh, look what I got. It's the bare minimum. And then the man is going to stop paying you any mind. And then you're going to get mad because the man is ignoring you, but you cause that on yourself.
This is black men, and we actually want non-black men's help in this corrections that you speak of.
So what are the corrections that you're looking for specifically?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of like what do you want to see?
Well, we believe that there is no hope for them. That we don't believe in changing their minds. We don't. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say because you're on stage, but if they could not exist, hey, we wouldn't be mad at it.
If they could not exist, you wouldn't be mad at that. Oh my God. Now, this sounds like black women, and it sounds like they're consorting with a white man. And that's interesting alone because it's the same women who say non-black people shouldn't have a say in black people's issues. It's a common theme that we hear amongst black women who say, oh, you know, white women and white people should not be in these conversations about black people's issues. But this is clearly black women talking to a white man about their hatred for their own men. And they really think that this is going to go in their favor. I don't think they realize what's happening. This is insane to me, y'all. I swear this is
I didn't see my daughter in 6 months, officer.
It's a reason why the post is giving them supervisors. Let them take it to the
It's a reason because she's lying.
No, I don't want to talk because I feel like y'all came here and only about the gifts. He's only a father on birthdays and gifts. He has supervisors.
Oh, I'm only a father because... Okay. I'm only a father because you keep me away from my kid.
Nobody can keep you away from the kid.
It's simple. It's simple.
You're a bum. You don't pay child support. You don't do nothing. You're a bum. Let me get the paperwork to show you guys. I have it in my
She hiding my kid in the room. Like, how you do that on Christmas? I have the paperwork too. Why you ain't come to 18? Why you didn't bring home to 18 so I could have gave her a gift before Christmas? You the bum, and you mad I don't want you. And I'm sorry I don't want you, sweetheart. Just want to see my kid. Like what?
Like, what are you talking about? You're a bum.
Like, how I came to drop off gifts to my kid, you don't want me to see my kid? I don't have no restraining order against you. Leave the gifts and walk away and I can't see my kid. I ain't seen her in 6 months. Everybody in this building needs to know this girl at 3A be keeping her daughter away from his father. I have a whole gifts to my kid. Nevaeh, daddy loves you, baby.
Get away from my door.
Daddy loves you,
Get
baby.
away from my door.
Where's my kid?
Get away from my door.
Where's my kid?
Get away from my door. I'm gonna call the cops.
Where's my kid? Where's my kid? Where's my kid? You hiding my kid in the room? What the hell? What the hell? I brought gifts to my kid.
Get away from my
You is a hater. I don't want you. You mad? Damn. I already called 911. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Bum, you going on Instagram already? Bum. I came to drop off stuff for my kid.
I love you.
I'm not doing anything. Don't run in your mouth. Hey, let's come over here. Let's come over here. It's good. Dude. Oh.
Whoa. Look at his kid.
Chill out, man. Chill out. Everybody gonna hit nobody, man. Chill out, though, yo. Everybody gonna touch her. Chill out, yo. Chill out. It was a trick, though. It was a trick, though. Don't touching, yo. I'm not fucking touching shit. Relax. I ain't touching fucking nothing. Relax. Get the fuck out of here. Relax. I ain't touching anything. Get fucking get your face out of here. Relax. Fucking bitch. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Chill out. Chill out. You know the police coming to look at you, man. We got this, man. Relax, bro. Stop. Fucking leave. Alright, stay fucking leave. Keep him back there. Fucking leave. We got it. We got this, bitch. We gonna get out of here. Fuck out of here. We got this, man. Fuck you. You wanna die, yo. You wanna get down, yo.
That's not true, dude. Look at his fucking hands. Look at his kid. Get that woman out of here. Yeah, get her out of here. Yeah.
She good. Chill out, yo. Hey, stop, man. What are you doing? It's a female, yo. It's a female. Chill out, yo. It's a female. I know it's a female, but it ain't gonna be fisted. I know. I know. We good. Right. We good. We good. Don't nobody want to touch you, man. Don't nobody touch you. Don't nobody touch nobody, yo. I know. Everything good, man. That's your girl, yo.
I've watched this video a couple of times and the woman is wrong. The thing that I don't like about society is women are allowed to do whatever they want with no repercussions. If a man was to be doing this to a woman, I guarantee you they would have him up or he would have got in trouble a lot quicker. But because it was a woman, nobody stepped in. If I was a man and that was my wife, I would have told her to shut her mouth. Probably not in that way because it's your partner, but I would have told my wife to be quiet. A lot of women get their husbands killed because of their mouths. There's women out here who start with grown men and then have their husbands boxed out or jumped or hurt. You can see he's with a kid. You can see where they're at is cold. You mean to tell me you're going to throw a beer in someone's face while they're with their child? Dude, I've been to games before. Well, not these kind of games, baseball games. People taunt each other. People do boo and make fun of you Dodgers, all that stuff. It's not enough for me to get out of my seat and throw a drink at somebody. I've never been that irate. Being emotional and chaotic when you're literally at a game, I don't understand it. Like this pisses me off because like I said, this man held nothing but restraint. He could have put his hands on her. I'm sorry, but to me, that's self-defense. If you're throwing a drink in my face to where I can't see, who knows? How do I know you're not going to hit me next? How do I know things aren't going to escalate? And then the people standing up and defending her, that shit irritated me the most. She's wrong. The one guy, hey, she's a female. Dude, shut up. You're only trying to record this and get camera time. What do you mean she's a female? Y'all could have stopped her before any of that stuff was even happening. No one was telling her to turn around. Nobody was telling her to sit down. I don't know what she kept going back and forth looking at somebody. Dude, just your seat is front way. Look that way. Women need to learn to shut up sometimes and learn when not to put their nose in other people's. I'm sorry, y'all, but getting taunted at the game is not going to make me pop up out of my seat. It's not going to make me get crazy and want to fight somebody. I just don't think that it's worth it. I really don't. And I already know, because I have brothers and I've been around men, you got to be careful talking to men some type of way. Because nowadays, I see so many videos where men put their hands on women and I feel like a lot of women don't learn. And you know what's crazier? You make videos like this and you women will get mad at me for saying protect yourselves, for saying learn to be quiet. I'm trying to help you not get hit because you don't know how to shut the fuck up. That makes no sense. I think you guys want me to be soft and docile when these type of situations are very serious. I don't understand why you want to be coddled and hold your hand through conversations when you're a big girl. You know, if you talk, sometimes you can get hit. We're not in a world where you can say whatever you want. How many times have we seen people say certain things and get hit or get hurt? Too many times. And for women who always say men are dangerous, men are going to harm us, you guys sure will still talk and act crazy. And these are the times where I can't defend you. Because if you go out of your way to put your hands on somebody or throw something at somebody, whatever happens to you after that is all on you. I'm sorry. I don't advocate for men hitting women. I don't advocate for men doing stuff like that. But who's the one in the wrong? If you think it's him, you're crazy. I'm sorry. Like I said, to see his little kid distraught, that kid probably thought he was going to go and have a good game with his dad. I'm glad the cops got involved and I hope she went to jail because she's a piece of for that.
And in this clip, you're seeing a man having to call the cops. I think, honestly, listening to it, maybe it might be a skit, but I know of people who go through this on a regular basis. Maybe not every day, hopefully not every day, but there are men that go through this. They're trying to see their kids, women straight up lying, and you do have to call the cops in order to have access to your kids. Do you think that having to call the cops and basically get an escort to come see your kids, a security escort to come see your kids, is really the environment that you want your kids to grow up in? Is that really what you want them to see? Do you really want your kids to hear you and their father going back and forth every single time he comes to get the kids? So let's say he comes to get the kids every other weekend, right? So we can count on at least 2 times out of the month. 2 times 12 is 24. 24 times in a year, the cops have been over at the house for nothing. They've been over at the house for nothing when they could be out fighting crime, doing actual work. They have to stop and mess around with you because you won't give that man his kids. Do you think that makes sense? But modern women will do this over and over again, and then they'll sit up and say that the man is the problem.
Women have a neurological advantage over men. Women have all the abilities to perform and do things in society that they actually just want to be lazy and let men do, right? Dr. Amen, he did 40,000 brain scans between males and females and lets you know that it's a significant difference between male and female brains, and that women's prefrontal cortex is a lot more active, which means that they have better executive functioning. They have the ability to multitask. They have better impulse control, all this stuff. And they're designed to be very selective in their relationships.
It's a message for all you bum-ass baby mothers out there for 2026. Stop keeping the kids away from real fathers. And then y'all want to complain, oh, he ain't doing nothing, bitch, because you keeping them away from the real father. What you talking about? You mean all you bum-ass baby mothers that don't do, and then complain at the end. Hop on the next and complain. Shut the fuck up. You don't do nothing but keep the kids away from the real fathers. That's all you doing. One control the narrative. You dusty horse. Out of here. Out of here. All you baby mothers out there, it's time to ship up or shape out. Because all you want is money anyway. That's all y'all want. Just say that. All I want is money. Don't give up the father in the life or not. You just want money. That's all you want, ho. What you talking about? What you mean? So this is a message.
Listen, if you've got a girl, she shouldn't be going festivals. She shouldn't be going clubs or like that. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's going to be a lot of fools that go, what? Can't even go to festivals and clubs and enjoy yourself with your mates. Listen, first of all, failed mindsets anyway to go to them things. You know what I'm saying? But if you got a bird and she wants to go to festivals, just shows you what type of girl she is. And especially with what she's wearing. You know what I'm saying? Just... girls only go to them type of things for male attention. They can say all what they want, but it's for male attention. Trust, they're putting the best makeup on, the best perfume on, best clothes on. For what? Themselves. Yeah, believe that in a million years. Listen, just shows how much respect she's got for him filming him. Showing how much of a beta he is. What's going on here, lads? Stay woke in these streets. Big brr.
What makes men not choose you? Well, first of all, if we gonna talk aesthetic, if you look like you smoke weed, he ain't gonna choose you. Wait a minute. High value, high earning masculine, don't want no woman that looks like they smoke on every day. If you look like your gums bleed when you floss, man ain't looking at you.
What does it look like when your what? What does
when
that
your
look
teeth
like?
look crazy, when it looks like you have bad dental hygiene.
Oh.
We don't have that in this room.
No.
But if it looks like your teeth, your gums bleed when you floss your teeth, a high value, high earning masculine man, he's not going to choose you. If it comes down to ugly, entitled character and behavior, that man is not going to choose you. If you expect that man to spend a bunch of money on you just because you're pretty, he might choose you for a little while, and then he's gonna let you go, and you won't be chosen all over again, and then you get recycled, used, that whole cycle. So I would just say, number one, do the best with your genetic potential. Take care of yourself. Please, for the love of God, don't look like you smoke a blunt a day. Why do you keep
looking at me when you say that?
Unless
I don't
You wanna
even
be with
smoke
the man
weed
that
anymore,
also
Sarah.
Smokes a blunt every day. And then y'all two can be two blunt smoking people
Sarah,
together. That's it. I'm complete.
All right. And she keeps looking at me like she keeps looking at me.
Mom asked for the kids on dad's time. Dad says no. Mom files for a protection order, takes the kids out of the country because she doesn't have to get permission from dad because there's a protection order. Well, guess what? The attorney that I work for, who represents dad, went to the court and said this is a litigation. Mom can no longer get emergency orders against dad ever again because litigation was granted. Because she would go and do this repeatedly. This isn't the first time or the second time. So let's bring it back a couple years. So they finally decide they're going to separate. But dad says, I pay for the house. You're a stay-at-home mom. I'm taking the house, but I'll put you in an apartment with the kids. She says, I'm not leaving my house. She goes and gets a protection order because she's not leaving the house. It's granted. And so she has this temporary restraining order for 2 weeks. She gathers up her belongings. She gets a good case going. Final order 2 weeks down the road. It isn't granted because there's never been a threat of violence. There's no history. There's nothing to substantiate her claims. So it's denied. She does this several times, 7 times, where she's granted this temporary 2-week restraining order. We get to the final stage and she's denied. This is of litigation. This is the system in order to get what you want. And it's not working anymore. And it's not going to happen to this dad anymore. So if you're experiencing this, I don't know about every state, but Washington, mom asks for the kids on dad's time. Dad says no. Mom files for a protection order, takes the kids out of the country because she doesn't have to get permission from dad because there's a protection order. Well, guess what?
All because height matters. Don't judge men based on stuff they can't change.
Hey, you want to fight?
Hey, next time I won't be so light. Wait, am I wrong if I were to hit her back? I'm not going to though. I'm not going to.
All he asked is if height matters in relationships, can I say that weight matters? And he got physically attacked. If this isn't like modern women / radical feminists summed up into one video, I truly don't know what is, right? Double standards, think you're hot as put your hands on men, and then you'll be the first one to cry, oh my God, he hit a woman when he hits you back. Crazy is in society's eyes, he would have been wrong. Not in my eyes, of course. If I was there and he hit her back and I saw it, well, no, I didn't. Stop putting your hands on men. There is nothing that enrages me more. Oh my God, the amount of fist fights I got in as like a teenager and a young adult in my 20s just because women were putting their hands on my guy friends, were just slapping around their boyfriends when they got drunk. I actually lost track. Make videos like this, women are always like, oh, you're just a pick me. Okay, all right. But when men see a man put his hands on a woman and they beat him up, we praise that. You know, okay. No, you just don't like accountability. And you get no...
Your physique is 100% in your control. I think there are more things that are out of your control. It is so much more expensive to eat healthy than it is to eat like crap. If I go to the grocery store and I just want to buy a bunch of frozen meals, that's going to be so much cheaper than me going and buying fresh produce and fresh fruit and everything.
Cope harder. Her sentence alone tells you everything about where we're at as a society. It's people like this that just regurgitate stuff they hear online without ever stepping foot in an actual grocery store. They see one bad tweet about Whole Foods being expensive and automatically assume chicken and potatoes cost $300. You see, the problem here isn't that Whole Food is expensive, it's that overly processed bull crap is much more convenient. You have trained your brain to think anything that takes more effort to cook automatically costs more. This whole idea that being fit is a privilege if you can afford it is beyond corny. We've built this culture where people would rather argue about access to nutrition than go for a frickin' walk. Fact of the matter is this, you can find Whole Foods that fit in your budget. You just gotta stop making coping your personality trait.
Somebody gotta say it. And I be the bitch to say it. Men are never taught to put themselves first. And honestly, it shows. Like literally from a kid, y'all feed them the line like, oh, be strong, protect, provide, man up, don't cry. And then years down the line, everybody wondering why he walking around emotionally shut down, burnt out, and feeling like the world don't see him. Probably because he was never taught that he's allowed to be human.
And I ain't even gonna hold you. We're really raised and born like that simply because of toxic masculinity. Your whole life, either your big brother or your father told you, man up, don't cry. Real men don't cry. I'm going to tell you now, real men cry, my nigga. I'm not the first or the last to say this, bro. Crying does not make you weak. Even the strongest break down there once in a while, bro. Don't let nobody tell you crying makes you weak.
Women have a neurological advantage over men. Women have all the abilities to perform and do things in society that they actually just want to be lazy and let men do, right? Dr. Amen, he did 40,000 brain scans between males and females and lets you know that it's a significant difference between male and female brains, and that women's prefrontal cortex is a lot more active, which means that they have better executive functioning. They have the ability to multitask. They have better impulse control, all this stuff. And they're designed to be very selective in their relationships.
Now, I can see if you're talking about organic food, because they do tend to charge a little bit more for organic food. But then also you have to weigh in the fact that if you eat like real food, then it's going to fill you up a little bit more, right? So like say you buy some chicken. If you have a freezer, like I would assume that a lot of people do, that you can, a lot of these stores that I've seen, they'll have a sale or buy one, get one free, and then you'll buy some and then you'll get one free, and you can do that for, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them. And chicken is not that expensive, right? If you want some hamburger meat, that's a little bit more expensive in some areas. So you get like a few pounds of it, right? Or maybe like a log of it, and you just cut up what you need into portions and put it in the freezer. Ziploc bags, put that into portions and put that in the freezer. Steak has always been expensive, so that's kind of like a luxury item. You get your taxes back. You go buy a couple of things of steak, a couple of packs of it, and you put it in the freezer, right? Whatever you're not going to use. That's a treat for a lot of people. Lobster, forget about it. We're not even going to talk about it. Shrimp, it's iffy. It depends on what it is, right? But produce, just in and of itself, is really not all that expensive. And I've learned that. Like I'll go to the store and I'll buy, or I used to, I would go to the store and I'd buy Oreos and really honestly and truly junk food. Oreos, Doritos, Coke, Snickers. And by the time you get done, you fool around paid $30 for all of those items, you know, and it's junk food. That's, if you really eat it like a lot of people do, it'll be done. It'll be gone in like maybe a day or so, and then you can't eat that all day, right? So that's not even sustaining you, and then it's going to run through your body, and over time it's going to make you feel sick. But if you invest in, I mean, go to Sam's Club, dude, go to Costco, right? Get you some big containers of seasoning. That's going to save you some money right there. If you want items in bulk, you can go there. I talk about for the women who complain about working being so hard, Sam's Club, once again, go in there and get stuff in bulk, and a lot of that stuff will be cheaper, right? So you just got to start thinking about what you can and can't do and what's smart. You got to start strategizing. A lot of these goals are not as hard as you think that they are, is what Noah was kind of saying here. You just have to put in a little bit more effort, and I think you'll be okay. If you want something easy, once again, a crock pot. You got a crock pot. Once again, you can do a pressure cooker. You can put it in the oven. You can do baked chicken, right? You can do air fried chicken, where to give it a little crisp on there, right? And it'll taste good. And you got YouTube videos that'll help you to eat healthier. And we're not asking you to be the healthiest, leanest athlete. We're just saying these foods can help you get your weight down. And when you get your weight down, you'll get your numbers down. And when you get your numbers down and your weight down and stuff like that, you're probably going to feel a little bit better. Probably going to be able to move a little bit freer, breathe a little bit easier, have a little bit more confidence about yourself, and it's going to work out for you. Nobody's trying to hurt you or trash you, just trying to get you to have a better quality of life. We all have something to improve on.